Hi there, it's Jason Linett here. I'm a board-certified hypnotist, I'm an instructor, this here is my office, I'm the director here of Virginia Hypnosis. I'm also the host of the recent NGH Hypnotism Success Series, and I want to personally invite you to one of the workshops that I'm presenting this year at the 2014 NGH Hypnosis Convention. Friday night at 7 p.m., here's the workshop. Strengthen your ego strengthening. Build success with a universal technique. Here's the history. Dr. John Hartland is best well known for coming up with what's called the ego strengthening technique. And the premise behind this process is that here is a scripted approach that Dr. Hartland developed over years and years and years of research, and the way the story goes, he would use just this one process with the same client for multiple sessions, and he had a very, very high success rate. Yes, it's a scripted approach, but towards the end of it, there's a specific segment just for customization. And the way the story usually goes is that unless you're willing to invest the same amount of time he did in terms of developing the technique, don't you dare change a word. Well, I'm going to be here suggesting a few updates to the process, but here's the specific benefit. Well, first of all, if you're scratching your head and you're asking yourself, what is this Hartland ego strengthening thing that Jason's talking about? Well, this is where I'd be the first to remind you it's in your NGH Hypnosis curriculum. It's actually a little technique that turns out the best way to hide something in this profession is to publish it. And it's right there inside of your curriculum, right there inside of your books. The technique itself, when you first look at it, oh man, is it weird. Maybe some of the language might be a little out of date, but more specifically, there's a lot of negative sounding language inside of it. However, what is it actually doing? It's building up what it's time to build up, and it's taking down what it's time to take down. And actually, at its core, it's probably the best crash course in hypnotic language patterns you could ever possibly find. I don't think there's anything better in terms of learning language patterns within hypnosis that rapidly. So if you're brand new to this technique, come just for that. But while you're there, here's what you're really going to gain. Couple of components here. First of all, by taking this technique, and rather than it being a single technique that we can use, let's now begin to stretch it out further into becoming a universal through line throughout our sessions. An emotional connection from one session to the next to further strengthen and compound changes. In addition to that, let's say you're using some more advanced strategies. Let's say you're doing age regression. Let's say you're an NLP person. Let's say you're using parts therapy or anything of a more interactive nature with your clients. By utilizing this specific technique as a bit of an emotional through line throughout the process, you gain the strength of building better changes, but also compounding the success even deeper. So to build that through line, what do I mean by this? The same way that in perhaps pop music, here is the chorus of the song, followed by some lyrics, followed by some chorus again, followed by some lyrics, and the song ends in the chorus. Or perhaps classical music is another example. You take Fur Elise, and forgive me for my tone-deaf nature, but da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, and that section will repeat several times throughout the song. So what if we can bring that same nature to our process with our clients to create even better changes? And even for the stage hypnotist, if you're looking for the simplest and most direct way to add in something of a positive benefit for your volunteers at the end, this is going to fit that gap as well. Absolutely. This is also perhaps one of the best audio programs you can record for your clients. And there's one more added benefit. Let's say you're brand new to hypnosis. As someone who has now trained and certified dozens of students, there's a common problem the brand new hypnotist has. And that is you've now got them in hypnosis and you don't know what to say next. So that's where this process also comes in to satisfy that problem. Again, by building a through line in those moments where you're waiting for that intuition to kick in, or perhaps you're shuffling through your scripts and outlines trying to figure out what to do next, here is something you can just learn as a universal theme, a universal approach, which is going to add so much more value, so much more benefit, and I know this is just going to improve your success with your clients just as much as it has for me. So again, 2014 NGH Convention, Marlborough, Massachusetts, Friday night at 7 p.m. Strengthen your ego strengthening, build success with a universal technique. This is a 2-hour workshop, so be sure to get your tickets early. I'm Jason Linett. I look forward to seeing you there.